Hello and welcome to this week's live weekly Angel Oracle card reading with Daniel. So here we are in my Reiki studio here in home, and we are continuing our live series, which may be moving forward from here just the regular. I've been doing so much here in the studio with my interview series, which is picking up. I'm kind of very excited. I've put some more invitations out, and I've got some feedback from some pretty well-known spiritual figures. I can't give names yet until anything is booked, but I'm very excited to say that some of the people that I admire and I've looked up to and have helped me in my journey maybe will be part of the dawning of this series. So because I've been spending so much time in here and I have all the equipment set up, I thought, well, why not just start doing your weekly Oracle cards live? Not only live broadcast, which this is going out live right now for whoever may join us, but also as, just free flowing, unedited, just let the messages come. And this is actually much easier than what I've done up to now, although I had a kind of a style. I put everything in an iMovie and it would, scroll up the screen slowly. And I do the voiceovers with the musical background track. And I'm not saying that's not going to continue to happen. In fact, if you guys would care to, you can commentary under this video or on the Facebook page, whether you like this format better or you like the iMovie version better, where it's just the digital versions of the cards. And I'll certainly take that in consideration. Just right now, for everything that I've been doing, where I'm in the studio now doing this, right after this, a very good friend of mine, Mandy DiPietro, will be coming over. And she has been working with Eileen on pendulum readings, and some of the messages coming through for them have been to kind of start their own thing with that, as far as doing like a weekly forecast or host readings with the pendulums. In their case, it would be tandem pendulums, each one working with their individual pendulum, kind of feeding off of each other and confirming or validating what the other is receiving. So they're coming over today. We'll be recording that. I'm not sure if that's one that's going up live or if that's just, I know there's going to be a few trial runs and kind of work out what is wanted for them to do. I mean, we got the information that they're to do this. So, we have to work out the details. So on for this week. If anyone caught the last live video I posted from the trial Google Hangout in preparation for some of these interviews with the bigger celebrity-esque, I guess you can say, spiritual leaders, obviously they cannot make it to my little studio here in South Jersey. So I'm trying to get that all down and all little ticks and boxes and adjustments so that can go as smoothly as possible when I'm doing those interviews live for the live audience. Any live broadcasts I may have that you guys are trying to watch live, I'm not sure. We've done a few live things and it's never kind of came out very well. The live feed was always very choppy and laggy. The good news is that Google Hangouts then converts this video and posts it to my YouTube channel as a watchable video. And typically they're much better quality. So if anyone out there is trying to watch and they're having a difficult time viewing this, just know you can always watch the video after the fact, and that should be much smoother. So we're going to do a couple of things. I think I'm too shy of 500 likes on my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Advanced Angel Cards, all one word. So we will be doing a special live thing, which I tend to not give myself much time once I post a live event. And that's unfair to a lot of the people who don't necessarily get to check either Facebook every day or don't check my page every day. So I did announce that upon the 500th like, we would be doing something special. So I'm already going to start planning for that and setting a date for it so I can get the advertising, I guess, up in advance. So it's more than a day notice or a 2-day notice for those who may not have caught the postings about the live feed for this or the other hangout. They were both very impromptu items, so I'll try to do better with giving more advanced notice for the special event for the 500 likes. But like I was saying, moving on to this week, I want to do a couple of things here since it is live. And for anyone who has chosen to join us today, I certainly want to give them the opportunity to do more than just me pull 3 cards. I am going to open up, since we're sitting here, this is live TV, so I forgot to do this, but since I do see some people here, I'm going to open up the group chat in case anybody wants to type something in there, a question on the right-hand side. I'm on the Google Hangout page now, not the Facebook page. I'm not sure if that'll transfer over to here or not. It is a live event, so I'm hoping it will. If not, and I don't see a question from you, I apologize. But so to start this week out, we've been talking recently, all these readings have been coming through about the energy really peaking on the autumn equinox and moving through fall into the winter solstice, it being really growing stronger and stronger. And some of you out there may have noticed you have just bizarre little things, maybe that your doctor can't explain. In the spiritual world, it's widely accepted that when the energies get high like that, as human beings, our energetic souls thirst for that higher energy, but our physical human bodies may not be able to take that lift in frequency. So some have termed it ascension sickness, energy instability, whatever terminology that you may have come across. With that rise in energy, your body may be displaying physical symptoms or symptomatic issues that you don't understand or don't make sense. And you have to come to kind of trust that it's from the higher energies, and that's for your higher good and your own spiritual enlightenment and kind of broadening of your inner light. But it can be difficult, we'll say, to deal with sometimes. So my suggestion for anyone who's suffering from this is grounding, lots and lots of grounding, long showers, any of the black stones. One of my personal favorites is, any of the obsidian, snowflake obsidian, they call them, I think, Apache tears. They tend to be very, very high energy in themselves. So even though they ground you very well, they actually in themselves can generate a higher frequency field. But one of the other ones that I really like, and most of the time it comes, I actually keep one in my pocket. Let me dig it out here. Oftentimes it comes in a very raw form, which looks like a little lump of stringy coal. See how well you can see that? I don't know if that'll focus. I probably have to put it in front of my face. Anyway, it is tourmaline, black tourmaline. It looks like a little hunk of coal. It is not coal. Well, it's a very fibrous mineral, shiny like coal. Very good on not only blocking negativity, but also removing negativity from your energy system. But it's also a very good grounder. They also have things like this, which is tourmaline quartz. So it has a tourmaline kind of little like crystals growing within it. And crystal, of course, is an amplifier. Whatever you put crystal with, it amplifies. And crystal in itself is a high energy stone, but crystal within itself doesn't really have a special ability. It's simply an amplifier for the other stones that you may carry. And for me, I carry the tourmaline. I carry a tourmaline quartz, which in itself encased the tourmaline because it can start to flake and chip and come apart. I'll sometimes take this out of my pocket and just leave the tourmalated quartz in there. And then I always keep rose quartz because I have been going through some physical difficulties lately with my health. Nothing too major, but just little things. So I try to carry some rose quartz, which is a very loving healing stone. So grounding, try carrying some stones with you. Meditation, which has come up very, very often in the recent readings. Grounding meditations. In fact, I'll be doing one of my first Google Hangout interviews, not this coming week, next week, I think Tuesday night, will be with Sarah Hall, who has some incredible meditations on YouTube. So all these tools we can use to really ground ourselves. See, even just me doing this, I'm in here, I got the selenite candles going, and it's just, I get the what I call cobwebs on my face. I'm always doing this. The energy is just insane right now. To the point, moving through this coming time, as the energy is going to continue to increase, I want to start this week's reading by drawing 2 cards separate from the reading. One being from the Archangel Michael Oracle cards, and one being from the Archangel Raphael Oracle cards. Michael's cards are affirmations and prayers for protection, courage, strength, and we have the Raphael Oracle cards, which are for healing. They're healing messages. So one of the things that we need through these high energy times is protection, strength, courage, what have you, and healing. So I was inspired, I guess I should say, because it wasn't a formal channeling. It was just an idea I got, but I realized these ideas are input from my collective. So I was inspired to do one each of these before we get into this week's reading. So, for the highest truth and higher good of all those watching, myself, and anyone who may see this in the future, I need a card most appropriate that'll resonate with each person in their own way. Okay, and we have, your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. And the prayer they have on these, which are their prayers, but they're done very much in that affirmation way, and I've covered that before. The affirmations are a little more higher frequency than normal prayers because they're done out of gratitude and love and acceptance, as opposed to like asking for help. You're asking for help, but you're asking for help in such a way that you're already giving thanks for the help, knowing it's coming. So again, it's your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. And the prayer is, please help me clearly hear, see, feel, and know the divine guidance that I have asked and prayed for. Allow me to keep my ego out of the way so your wisdom can come streaming through me for my own benefit and for those around me. Now, the interesting thing is this card specifically is addressing mediumship. This card is, I use that in the sense of you're asking for help and they're trying to give you the help you need. But a lot of that is being able to receive that help. So in this case, we are actually asking Archangel Michael to help us open up our clairs. Keep my ego out of the way, because I've struggled with that. When you're getting this message and you're trying to give these messages and you're channeling the information, sometimes you stop yourself and say, well, is this the true message, or is this my ego mind chiming in and going into life coach mode and just regurgitating all of the last 10 years of workshops and books I've read? And that's something that can be tough to overcome, and always having that doubt. So it's asking specifically to help us hear, clairaudient, see, clairvoyant, feel, clairsentient, and know, claircognizant, of the guidance that they've asked for to come through clearly for your own good and for the good of others that you may need to give that message to. So that's interesting. I've never pulled this card before from the Archangel Michael deck. But I find that very interesting that has that in there. And then now we'll move over to Archangel Raphael and get a healing message. I think the core of that card was about strength and courage, because oftentimes it takes courage to accept that we all have these abilities and to open up and let down our resistance to use them. So I think that takes courage. And we also have fears associated with them of what am I going to connect to? Is this of the highest truth? And therein lies the need for the protection. So I've never seen that card in that deck. To be honest, I draw the cards as I need them. I've never gone through and looked at each and every card. I'm a little surprised, but gratefully happy that that's in that deck. That's pretty awesome, because that is something that a lot of people, myself included, not only when you're starting this journey, but even through the journey, you have those moments of doubt and wonder, is this me, or is it just my, am I getting this information genuinely, or is this just me, doubting out what I've learned over the years? So let's see what Archangel Raphael has for us. Trust. You got to trust in information. I love how these things always go together so well. So we have trust. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. So this card, again, isn't necessarily about healing per se. This card is about, again, trusting those intuitions, trusting those feelings that you're getting in order to pursue your career path, which in these terms usually means your life purpose, your soul contract, your soul signature, depending on who you listen to and what copyright of a name they've given to it. It's all about fulfilling your soul purpose, things you're passionate about, things that bring you joy. And for a lot of us right now, it's doing this work. And it's within this work that we are being of service, and we are in our joy to do it, which is the important thing. It's about doing what gives you true joy on a soul level. The tie into that is being able to find a way to do this purpose, to do this work, to be of service, and translate that into a viable income, that this can become your full-time employment. And I relate it to people like the dot-com bubble, if anyone gets that reference. There was a rush on computer work and computer firms, and everybody and their mother was getting into it. And then the bubble burst because the market became so flooded and everybody lost their fortunes. It's because this energy is so high, so many people are moving to light work that it's becoming difficult to do it for a full-time living, because there's so many others already out there doing it that are established. But we can't question the how or why. We have to just do what we're doing. I'm doing this. I am not making a cent off of doing it, but I just do it, and I do it every week, and I do it whenever I can, because it brings me joy. And I know that when the time is right, I'll be shown a path to where this will become an employment situation for me. There's always room for more. And in my experience, the people who are serving them the highest good and the highest truth, it's never a competition. They're always willing to give you a referral. They're always willing to let you come in and help them. It's a very loving and caring community of the ones who are doing this out of true service. So it's not like it's a competition. You can't get your foot in the door. It's just about people who are going to see a reader want to see somebody who has a history, who has a reputation, who's been established, so they kind of know what they're getting into. I tell people, I had a woman referred to me, and I said to her, look, you don't have to pick me, but you should always pick someone you resonate with. Here's my channel. You can watch my videos. You can see my readings. And if I resonate with you, then by all means call me. But I want you not to come to me because you were said, well, here's a guy who does this, but because I resonate with you. And there's thousands of other people out there with videos and channels that you can see if you resonate with them. And that's how it should be. And I don't like using the word shoulds anymore, because they told me that, again, what we should or what we're supposed to be doing are really distracting and limiting concepts. But it's just one of those things that in that statement I was making, I'm trying to make it clear what I meant by that is that it's not that it's tough to get into this business as a living because people are trying to hold you out or there's already so many people in it. It's more that the people who come for readers like the person that they've been seeing for a million years. But those people are usually very good-hearted, warm, loving people, and they will let you come in and shadow them or help get you out there. And that's exactly what has begun to happen with me. But just do the work with faith and out of truth and out of service, and your opportunities will be shown to you. So it's interesting that these kind of pre-readings have come back to mediumship and service, because that's really where it's at for all of us. Anyone who's watching this, you've had inklings, you've had sensations, you may be full-blown medium, and we're all being driven to a point of doing this in service in order to help the rest of the planet who maybe haven't let down their resistance yet to rise up and do just that, so we can elevate as a civilization. Excuse me, live TV. So now on to the reading. Now I'm going to do something a little different for the reading this week. We're going to use my tried and true Angel Tarot cards, but I'm also going to draw cards from the Archangel Power Tarot, and as kind of a confirmation to each of the cards. See, like a expansion of the reading. So as usual, we set the intentions, please, that this reading gives us a card for the beginning of the week, a card for the second half of the work week, and a card for the weekend. I also would like to ask that as these cards come out in their divine order and divine timing, that they also give me an angel number that I may convey to the viewers to extend that message on that front, using the typical outline of how I divine these numbers, please. Okay, so we need a card for the first part of the week, second part of the week, or second half of the work week, I should say, and the weekend. And then we are going to draw three. I want to bring them up two at a time so they can see how they relate to each other. Same thing, I don't need an angel number from this deck, however. I already got my angel number. And we're going to look for an elaboration on the readings that are already on the board. So I need one for the first half of the week, one for the second half of the work week, and finally one for the weekend. All right, so let's see what they've given us. So for the opening of the week, which is Monday, Tuesday, kind of through Wednesday, they've given us two cards. The first is Major Arcana number 14, Balance. I believe in traditional tarot it's Temperance. So here we have Archangel Zadkiel, and he's, balancing out the volumes of the two cups into each other. I love the artwork on the Archangel Tarot. They're just amazing. So the card reads, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. Now, the backup to this card, the expansion of this card, we'll say, from the Archangel Power Tarot, which the artwork on these are interesting because it's like real photographs of actual Hay House personalities blended in with artistic backgrounds. The artwork on these is okay. My favorite thing about the Archangel Power Tarot are the backs of the cards. I think that artwork is amazing. You have the four Archangel flags there. You have Michael up top with the blue with the sword, Raphael with the logo and the green there, Gabriel, but we recognize her in the angel work as Gabrielle, with the orange flag with the trumpets, and then Ariel with the tree, like the tree of life there, in the pinkish. I just think they're awesome. So our follow-up to that is two of Ariel. Now, Ariel, again, is the earth suit in Angel Tarot, or coined pentacle in traditional tarot. It is finances, career, material things, stuff like that. It's important to have balance. Working multiple jobs or projects at once, making work fun. So, here we have the balance card. Here we have two of Ariel. I just want you to see that. I'm not making that up. It's important to have balance. For anyone out there who wants to pick up a deck of Oracle cards but don't think you know how to use them, I give workshops on them. I do telestreams like this. It's not as hard as you might think, and you don't really need formal instruction. I give it because it's something that I've kind of developed some of my own. So it's really about learning different spreads, which you can make up your own. But basic pulling of a card, it's divine order. You're going to pull the exact card you're supposed to pull. Now, I pull cards from 2 separate decks, and both got balance cards. So the meaning coming into the opening of this week, we have balance, maintaining balance, keeping balance. Essentially, there's a lot going on at once for a lot of people. You're trying to do your regular, quote-unquote, 40-hour-a-week job while still pursuing your hobbies and passions, and maybe you're feeling a little thin spread. And this is why they're urging you for balance. It's about kind of pulling it all in, cutting out some time for yourself, and really just taking a breath. Take some you time, so to speak, and they're giving me the meditation again, and that this is what I've been saying week after week. It's about taking that time for yourself and finding something to do out of meditation. Doesn't necessarily mean sitting in a corner of a room with your eyes closed listening to pan flutes. It can be a long drive. It could be a walk. It could be a bike ride. It could just be staring out your kitchen window at the birds flying around the yard. Any of these things can be looked at as meditative exercises. The key is about finding time to center yourself, quiet yourself, maybe turn inside and start getting some of those answers that you're reaching for so hard on the outside world, because that's where they are. They're all inside. So, beginning of the week, we have balance. So now we're moving to the middle of the week, and I can already see, without even reading the cards, we have 2 Earth cards. We have the Earth card, and then we have Ariel, which is the Earth suit. So I have a suspicion these are going to go very well together. So traditional Angel Tarot. We have 8 of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic and going back to school. I see this one a lot for people who are in transition, who have decided that they are just done doing what they've done for the last 20 years, working for somebody else, or working in a place that they're just unhappy working at, and they're really desperate, not out of desperation, desperate out of a calling to move on and do something else. So this is a card that comes up a lot for people. Now, we have 6 of Ariel, gorgeously illustrated. Material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. And forgive me, I know who this woman is. I forgot what her name is. All the people on these cards are Hay House personalities. I wish my camera would focus better. And she is actually, the same woman is actually on the cover, Ariel, with the lion. Doesn't give her name. I know her name. It's just escaped me right now. That happens a lot with me. I'm terrible with names. But anyway, so let's see how these cards relate to each other. So we're talking about skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, going back to school. Material needs are fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. When money is tight and times are tough, sometimes people will offer us help. We are often very resistant to that help. And it's the resistance into that help that, believe it or not, helps create a blockade to manifestation. It's not about pride. Well, it's all about pride. What I'm trying to say is, the issue isn't about being prideful and saying, I don't want your help. I want this challenge, or I made my bed, I have to lay in it. Whatever terminology you use for it, it's about you wanting to really stick up, and you want to stick it out and make do and do it for yourself. When God sends help, we have to accept it, and we have to accept it with grace, and with gratitude. So one of the lessons in the cards for this week, for the middle, from the end of the work week, is to either accept that act of kindness with gratitude and understand it's not charity, it's because someone was able to help you, or it may be the opposite end of the spectrum. You may have the opportunity to help somebody and help them not out of obligation, not out of the sense of creating a debt that someone will owe you, but out of gratitude that you are blessed enough to be able to help somebody and give them an opportunity to maybe better themselves for a brief period. So it's about attitude of gratitude, as they say, and either giving or receiving whatever your individual circumstance dictates, willingly opening up to receive or opening up to give out of a sense of gratitude, out of love, and out of service to another. Where I feel this ties in with this career shift that so many of you are going through is the understanding that, we visited on timing and be patient. Nothing can happen when you want it to happen. It has to happen when the timing's right. So you can, for instance, want to go to a certain restaurant for lunch, but if that restaurant doesn't open to 3, you're not getting that restaurant for lunch. So the cautionary tale, I'll use that word, is that make sure that everything is in order before you expect, which is something we should never do, expect something to happen. Have patience, do your research, do your work, learn all there is to learn about the situation, the shift, this change, the career field you're going into before you expect anything to actually manifest for you. That being said, magical things do happen, and opportunities will, or towards the end of this week, be popping up for some of you. Sometimes an opportunity to go to a workshop or learn more about something. For others of you, it may be an opportunity to make that transition quickly to something different. But as long as we maintain the attitude of gratitude, as long as we put out positive vocabulary into the universe about what it is we want, and then leave the how and when to the universe, to your angels, to your guides, things tend to manifest more smoothly. We can't define the outcome. We can't have an expectation of the outcome or the timing. We just have to put it out there and let the universe take care of the rest. For some of us, it may resolve fully by the end of this week. For others of us, it'll give the opportunity to take the next step forward, perhaps. So as we move through the weekend, in the Angel Tarot, we have 8 of air. Now, air are your thoughts and how your thoughts are affecting your actions. Traditional tarot, it's the swords. In the air, it's portrayed by unicorns, hence sword. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. This individual card right here, though it's probably one of the harshest cards in the deck, and I'll explain why in a minute, lovingly harsh. It's not that it's harsh. It's like tough love. It's one of the best cards a person can get to help them realize that they are being their own worst enemy in certain circumstances. So we have 8 of air. The false sense of being trapped really comes from a point of victimhood. You are standing in a situation where you're saying to yourself, but how can I leave? What am I supposed to do? If I leave this is going to happen or that's going to happen. It is one of the hardest things we can do as human beings to put aside what we know and what we've been told for centuries and trust in the universal plan. Take that leap of faith and just know it's going to work out. By some means that we have no idea now what it is, we will be provided for, whether it be through someone helping us through the tough times that lay at the beginning of that journey, or whether it just be it works out quickly, or you get an opportunity for that other job sooner than you thought. I'm not telling anybody around quit your job tomorrow. What I'm saying is, if you find yourself in that position saying, I would love nothing more in the world than to do that, but what am I supposed to do? Evaluate that question. Evaluate that question you just asked and find your highest truth of answer for that question. Because what you're supposed to do is what you were meant to do, and it's what you want to do, and it's what brings you joy. Doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow. Everything is a process, and for every individual out there, that process will be different. That process will take longer for some and shorter for others, and that process may have a few setbacks, but everything's a process. The process begins with opening up and lowering your resistance to the actual process, and stop being a victim. Stop labeling yourself. Okay. They actually just stopped me talking because they want me to keep putting out this concept that they have given me, and I struggle saying the word, and I don't know why because I know the word, but it's about vocabularizing your life. You're not trapped. You're not stupid. You're not useless. You're not all the horrible things we say about ourselves manifest that reality for ourselves. So you're not trapped. You're not in a situation where your abilities or your skills aren't good enough. None of that's true. Everything is exactly how it's supposed to be in your life, in your journey, in this time. So we have to think a lot more positive, and the more positive thought we give to these things and we lower those resistances, the opportunities will more easily come to us. So let's look at our secondary card. 3 of Michael. Release the past. You will grow from this situation. Time heals all wounds. That card right there. Short of this card being the 8 of air, then it would be the exact same card in 2 different vocabularies. That card is the perfect match for this card in that a lot of the resistance, a lot of the programming, a lot of the things that we hold on to that keep us kind of falsely trapped are because of what we've been told in the past, because of what an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend, an ex-husband or wife, a mother, a father, a teacher, someone told us we were something, and we were foolish enough to believe them. My friends, all I can tell you is this: Panache Desai put it the best. Panache Desai put it best. You are all divine creatures. Not one of you is any better than the next, and not one of you is any lower than the next. Not one of you are beneath the other. People will tell you things and label you as such for you to believe it, so that you feel less than, so that they can feel better than. And that's their own issues they need to work out. It's unfair that we get trapped into this belief that we are not good enough, that we are not smart enough or pretty enough or handsome enough. I come on this camera each and every week with my jacked up teeth, but it is what it is. You know, I know my teeth are the way they are. Couple of hockey pucks to the mouth certainly didn't help, but I know they are the way they are because it's been this, it's been that, it was malnutrition as a child, you know. But my human side would say, well, what if they think I'm a druggie or something? I got these beefy teeth. I can't worry about what people think. I have to be the authentic Daniel, and so I'm here on camera. That's my pirate teeth, and it is what it is. My teeth aren't that bad. It's one of those things that something so minor as, you know, you have a tooth that's broken off, or you had a couple of teeth pulled, so you can focus on that, and you can be like, well, what are they going to think? And you're covering up your mouth when you talk. I'm sitting here exactly how I am, doing what I love, hoping that I'm not being judged, ridiculed, or criticized. And if I am, well, you have every right to judge, ridicule, and criticize. But I have every right, and I can be in my choosing not to believe a word you're saying to me, and still be the authentic Daniel, who is here with love and gratitude and presenting my entire heart and soul in service to you. And you need to do the same for no one else's sake but your own. So I really do enjoy how when I do a reading like this where I'm pulling from different decks, I've done a reading where I've just pulled the 3 cards, but every card was from a different deck and still got such a perfect flow to the reading. It always, even now after years of doing this now, it still amazes me. And Radleigh Valentine, who I talked to briefly, he's kind of gotten extraordinarily busy now with the Hay House tour and all. He's one of the ones, he's the co-author of these decks with Doreen Virtue, and he's traveling with Doreen doing a million workshops. But once in a while, I still get to talk to him, whether it be on the radio show or through Facebook. And, he to this day says the same thing, and he's been doing tarot for over 20 years, angel cards for probably 10. And he often comments on how amazed he is with some of the readings, the way these cards line up so perfectly. I mean, here we drew 3 separate cards from 2 different decks, and they lined up. They couldn't have been any more perfect, especially that very first set, which was balance. So, moving through the weekend, to sum that up, look for ways that you can better yourself with just your thoughts about yourself. Take time to look in a mirror and say, you know what, I like you. You're okay. Or you can make a list of all the great things you've ever done for somebody else or for yourself. Make it as long as you can make it. And anytime that vocabulary starts coming out, well, I tried to do this for somebody, but then it got all messed up. Throw that one away and move on to the next one. Or write it in such a way that I really was inspired to do this for that person because I loved them and cared for them, and it meant the world for me to be able to do that for them. Leave it at that. The angels, the reason these cards are so positive, these cards are full with the good, because that's all the angels care about. They don't care how many times you've slipped and fell backwards in your journey. They don't care that you went to rehab and started back on whatever it was you were there for. They don't care that you've been through 6 wives and 2 husbands, or you beat your kids, you didn't beat your kids enough. They don't care about that. They are here with love and respect and gratitude, and they know that we are perfect exactly how we are. So spend some time over this next coming weekend forgiving others, forgiving yourself, letting go of anything that no longer serves you, and just really focusing in on what makes you grow internally, your light, what resonates with you, and you actually feel that love kind of bubbling up inside you. And that's where you have to focus, and that's the vocabulary you have to use in order to keep that vibration high and keep it moving. Now, I asked for an angel number, which my book's over here, pardon me. So, the very first card that came up was Archangel Zadkiel, 14. The rules that I've set forth in doing angel numbers with my angels are, if a major arcana comes up, that's where the count stops. Well, he was the very first card, so 14 is what we're going with. Lean upon the angels to help you maintain a positive outlook. Didn't somebody just say that? This will help keep your demeanor optimistic and bright. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So once again, angel number 14. Lean upon the angels to help you maintain a positive outlook. This will keep your own demeanor optimistic and light. There's all these exercises I'll mention from time to time when we do things like this. But the one looking in the mirror or making this list of everything that you love about yourself, it's not conceited. It's not arrogant. It's an expression of self-love. Everything we do in this world, we have to express love. And that's the only way that we can really get by. At the end of the day, no matter who did us wrong, we can look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, but you did right. And that's all. We can't worry about the things we can't control. We can't worry about behaviors of others. We can only worry about us and if we're doing right on a daily basis. So don't take that too lightly. Take some time. Even if you love yourself and you think you're the greatest person in the world, doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt to still sit down. You have 5 minutes on a Sunday morning. Grab a piece of paper and just start writing down. And you'd be surprised. Even those of you who think there's nothing good or redeeming about yourselves, which, please, I hope there's no one out there that feels that way. But if you do, understand that you are worthy of every ounce of love the universe has for you. You'll be shocked as you really try and you really focus how many good, great things you've done in your life. Even if they haven't worked out, the point is you did them. It came to your consciousness, you manifested it into your reality, and you tried to do something nice. Even if it didn't work out, you wanted to do it. That is a beacon of who you are on a soul level. That's all that matters. Sometimes things work out because the divine timing of the person you were trying to do it for wasn't right. Sometimes things don't work out because maybe that person you were doing it for, their energy was off that day and it was better off it didn't work, or because it could have been worse than it was by it not working out. Whatever the reasons that we look at things in our life as failures, they're not failures. Everything is in its divine timing. And we have to accept that and understand that, even when it doesn't serve us. We want to say divine timing and divine order when things work out, but then when a young person dies or someone has a tragedy, we look and we shake our head and say, well, what could that have served? Why would that be divine timing? We never understand it in the moment, and oftentimes we never figure it out in this lifetime. But it's all truth, and it's all for the highest truth and higher good of this existence that we're in. So trust that. I hope I haven't babbled on too long here with you. I hope you've enjoyed this today. It was a little bit of an extended reading. What we will be doing, again, when we reach 500, which will probably be by the end of today, I have 2 more. I had an ad credit I didn't know I even had on Facebook, so I ran just a small ad just for that $20 credit, whatever it was. So I'm pretty confident by the end of today we'll have 500. So I'm going to start working tonight as I'm kind of sitting around after we film this next segment with the pendulum readings. Start really planning something where I can maybe have somebody come on for a live interview and then go into some readings, just like an event to celebrate 500 viewers, because all you guys out there, even if 7 of you watch these readings each week, 7 of you are getting the message that you need to get, because the only people that will watch these messages each week are the people who need that message for that week. It's that divine timing we just talked about. So until next time, thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do so. And if you haven't liked on Facebook, please do that. You can reach me at www.advancedangelcards.com, or my other site talking about my collective and giving basically the history of the angels, www.theangeliccollective.com. Facebook, www.facebook.com/Advanced Angel Cards, all one word. And Daniel Bates, and then it should show up as Advanced Angel Cards. Or you can Google Advanced Angel Cards, all one word. Also have the Google Voice Angel line, 747-444-1022. Call for readings or information or to book us. The sites will be being updated with some more of the live events that we're scheduling through fall, as well as interview schedules as I start booking some of the non-local YouTube people or people who are out speaking on the network right now on the spiritual expos and stuff. As I get their interviews, I'll post their times and all for that. And with that, brings us to the end of another week. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And all you who are watching us after the fact, it's been a pleasure. And I will see you all next time.